Committee will come to order. Before we turn to the committee business, I want to take a minute to point out the beautiful Christmas tree that was delivered to our committee room this week in the back there, and I appreciate those who are responsible. To the National Park Foundation for securing a generous donor, Larry Smith, who drove the tree up from his Christmas tree farm in Newland, North Carolina this week. So thank you very much, Mr. Smith. I appreciate it. It will make for a cheery backdrop to our work today, which is both business meeting for 3 nominations and legislative hearing. The 3 nominations are David Crane to be Undersecretary of Energy for Infrastructure, Jeffrey Marushin did I get that right? I know.
He's not here today. It's okay.
Senator, just help me with this one, if you will. Marutian? Marutian. Assistant Secretary of Energy for Energy Efficient. He and I became on a first-name basis. I just went to Jeffrey. And then we have Gene Rodriguez to be Assistant Secretary of Energy for Electricity Delivery and Energy Reliability. We're going to turn to that as soon as we get a quorum. But today we also have 3 witnesses before us to provide expert testimony on 15 bills, 1 resolution, and a discussion draft of the Nuclear Waste Administration Act. There have been huge strides made in the 117th Congress to support both continued operation and the expanded deployment of nuclear energy. But what to do with our nuclear waste is a nut that we have yet to crack, and it falls to this committee to address the back end of the fuel cycle. We're responsible for finding an equitable consent-based solution to storing and disposing of our nuclear waste. What's clear to me after 35 years of stalemate is that a new approach is needed. The Nuclear Waste Administration Act forms an entity that is properly funded and has the mission of working with communities and states to site, construct, and operate nuclear waste facilities. It opens up possibilities for us to move forward and find an environmentally and socially responsible solution to deal with our nuclear waste. This is a solvable problem, and I hope my colleagues will join me in working on it as we move forward, and I look forward to Dr. Huff's testimony on the draft, on this draft. Secondly, I would like to highlight Senator Casey's and Senator Braun's STREAM Act, which would ensure that abandoned mine land grants from the bipartisan infrastructure law can be utilized in the same way as grants allocated from the traditional AML trust fund to address acid mine drainage. For generations, West Virginians and coal communities around the country have done the heavy lifting that made us the world leader that we are today. These communities still bear the scars of those sacrifices. I'm proud to co-sponsor this bill because it will be a huge help in repairing the nearly 1,500 miles of AML impaired streams in my state of West Virginia alone. With the advancements that WVU has made in our ability to extract rare earth elements from acid mine drainage, cleaning up watersheds impacted by pollution from abandoned mines will not only make our communities safer, it's going to also provide a unique opportunity to onshore our supply chain for critical minerals. It is truly a win-win situation. Another way that we can strengthen our domestic supply chain is by ensuring that we have skilled workforce in the mining field for years to come. That is why I'm also pleased that we'll be discussing a bill that I've been very much concerned about with Ranking Member Barrasso, the Mining School Act today. By providing targeted support for the mining and geological programs at our colleges and universities, this important bill will help ensure that the next generation is prepared to design and operate all of the new mines that are needed to meet the supply chain challenge that we have. We also have a handful of public land bills on today's agenda. The committee has processed several dozen public land and water bills this Congress, and I remain hopeful that working with Senator Barrasso, we will be able to reach bipartisan agreement on a lands package. While our subcommittees typically hold hearings on lands and water bills, given the late date that we have included these bills on the agenda today so that we can get the administration's input and potentially have these bills available if we are able to reach an agreement on the package. With that, I'm going to turn to Senator Barrasso.